In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. A phrase that you, no doubt, have heard countless times at the beginning of just about every piece of Warhammer 40k lore that you have watched or read. We've all heard it. It's etched into the very fabric of Warhammer 40k's identity, dark, dystopian, and eternal. But here's the thing. As bleak as that line sounds, the world of Warhammer, as we all know, is also laced with satire, irony, and punk. It's over the top. It's a war of aesthetics as much as strategy. Chain swords and purity seals, skulls on skulls on skulls, saints and heretics sharing the same bad dental plan. But what if we stripped away the absurdity? Where would the phrase "there is only war" take us then? No humor, no redemption, no satire, just a raw, godless universe where war isn't the setting, it's the theology. It makes no difference what men think of war. War endures. As well, ask men what they think of stone. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for him. The ultimate trade awaiting its ultimate practitioner. That is the way it was and will be. That way, and not some other way. And that, my friends, is Blood Meridian. Blood Meridian is not a story in the traditional sense. It's more like a plague, a slow apocalyptic fever dream that follows a group of scalp hunters led by a man named Glanton and someone, or should I say something far worse. There's no hope here. There's no victory, just blood and dust, and the kind of silence that only comes when the wind has run out of things to whisper. Glanton's gang is the perfect analog for a rogue Krieg cavalry unit. Think about it. A mounted squad of riders cut off from command, roaming a frontier of ash and fire, leaving no survivors and taking absolutely no orders. A heretical myth that Krieg command dare not acknowledge as long as they keep riding outward toward the edge of Imperial maps. That's the frame for this series, the Death Riders of the Blood Meridian. And this first model belongs to their real leader. He never sleeps. He says he will never die. This is the Judge, a character so unsettling that he often overshadows the novel itself. Pale, hairless, towering, smiling, and most of all, watching. It would be almost unfathomable to me to begin this kitbash and painting project of these Death Riders of the Blood Meridian without first addressing the character of the Judge. And so this video is dedicated to the first miniature in this crew, and it's my tribute to him. He's a Krieg lord gone rogue. He rides bare-chested. In the book, Judge is frequently naked, almost like clothes are beneath him. And on this model, his bare torso is exposed, capturing both his arrogance and his inhuman calm. The Judge wears an iconic black hat and trench coat. The trench coat is peeled off at the waist, draped behind him over the saddle like some kind of death shroud. His black, wide-brimmed hat rests just behind him, untouched by dust or time. He carries a pistol resting on the back of the horse's neck. The Judge's pistol is not just a weapon. It's a scalpel. He uses it with unnerving, almost supernatural precision. And then we have the journal that he endlessly writes in the novel. in this model that's slung over his shoulder. And it is his book of war. It is his documentation of the things that he has seen, the observations he's making, and the science that he believes. In it are names, maps, and symbols. Some say if you appear in that book, you're already dead. Now, the judge is massive. In the book, almost 7 feet tall. And he's not just tall, but he's off scale. He's too smooth. He's too perfect. He rides not like a man, but like something that refuses to walk. Even the largest of this Krieg stallion feels dwarfed in comparison to the size and bulk of the judge. And the judge has this twisted grin on his face. He's just witnessed something. Probably a man eaten alive by his own horse, or a child's shadow burned into a wall. Whatever it is, his amusement is unsettling. Skulls hang from his saddle, and around the neck of his horse is a decapitated Krieg commissar's head, echoing the scalping trade from the novel. Who knows how this came to be and whether this was considered a heretical act, or if it was a Krieg commissar that had simply been in the wrong place and wrong time. The decapitation was probably a result of a swift swing of his Bowie knife that hangs from the judge's belt, ready for the kind of close work that only the judge enjoys. The horse, it's painted in an Appaloosa-inspired pattern, its coat marked by violent, spotted contrasts that echo both the chaos of the West and the brutality of the novel. Its matted mane hangs like rotted banners, untouched by care, and its coat seems to shift with movement, a skin of bruises and ash. This isn't just a mount. It's a beast that rides with war. And finally, the tone for this piece is really set by the stark contrast of lighting that comes from the dwindling blood-red sunset of the open desert plain to the judge's front, and the beginning of a cool glow coming from a full-lit moonlight to his back. This setting sun casts the desert in flame, and the cool blue moonlight creeps in, a symbol of the night that follows every fire. And this is the judge's favorite hour, when things are uncertain and nothing casts a shadow quite right. Only that man who has offered up himself entire to the blood of war, only such a one is a true disciple. The judge is only the beginning. Coming next are the rest of Glanton's riders, each one reimagined as a twisted Death Rider. Glanton himself dragging scalps behind him like a comet tail. Toadvine with a scarred forehead and a rusted shotgun. David Brown, all gold and teeth and knives. Tobine, the ex-priest, trying to forget what he's become. The Delawares, silent and merciless stalkers and trackers. And yes, of course, the kid, who may or may not be you watching this right now. But before we get there, there's one thing I want to know. What books have burned themselves into your imagination? What story or character or passage demanded your attention to be kitbashed, to be painted, to be realized or brought to life in some way? Drop your ideas in the comments. Let's make the miniatures that literature was too afraid to show us. It is not to be doubted that this man was a judge. But he wore no robes nor any insignia of office, and he didn't speak, but stood holding that ledger book. And some said he was a suitor of darkness itself. This is the Death Rider of the Blood Meridian. This is the Judge. War is God. See you on the next ride. Don't forget to check out the White Flag Patreon, link in the description below if you're interested in finding more great novels, ideas for kit bashes, and also work in progress from White Flag. And as always, thanks for watching.